Tag TV and Tag Radio. Be seen and heard by both technology users and technology producers throughout the state of Georgia and around the world. Low cost, big benefits, powerhouse online branded video and audio has arrived. Tag TV, Tag Radio, there's a lot more to know. This edition of Tech Talk is brought to you by GlobalSpeak.com, new media consultants, corporate video and audio communications, video and audio production and distribution, live and virtual event production. Tag TV and Tag Radio is a service of GlobalSpeak.com, creatively delivering powerful marketing, video, and audio solutions. You hear a lot lately about corporate culture, what most experts explain as collective behaviors and assumptions, formed by the organization's values, their visions, their norms, systems, and symbols that include beliefs and habits. Equally important is that these collective behaviors and assumptions are taught to new members of the company or enterprise as a way of perceiving or thinking or even feeling how people and groups interact internally with each other as well as with clients and both industry and the greater community at large. Greetings, everyone. It's Friday, April 27, 2012, and this is Tech Talk with Technology Association of Georgia President Tino Mantella. I'm your guest host, Frank Baia. Culture. Can an organization build, reflect, and perpetuate a company culture and still succeed in today's competitive environment? Do strong cultures exist in today's rapidly paced, digitally interactive world of high-speed technology? Can a firm with a strong culture operate, like a well-oiled machine, seemingly efficiently delivering outstanding execution, yet maintain clear values, high employee motivation and loyalty, team cohesiveness, delivering consistency and encouraging cooperation? Simply put, do things because they believe it is the right thing to do. Up to the Tech Talk corporate culture, outstanding execution supported by equally strong leadership as an overall environment of values, beliefs, and behaviors. Meet Larry Lilley, a proven information technology professional for over 2 decades and with more than 15 years' experience in IT technology and management. Larry is not only the president and CEO of the rapidly growing IT consulting firm known for its outstanding execution, CTS, he leads a company culture that not only validates the fact that culture and successful company performance can work together. CTS is one organization that confirms it. Larry has been a member of CTS leadership team since 1995, where his responsibilities have grown with an amazing growth of the firm. Software process consulting, developing software quality assurance functions, strategic consulting, and business process development are just some of the client deliverables at CTS. The Tech Talk focus is on the class of culture that sets a standard as we gain insights into combining execution with core company values. From CTS President and CEO, Larry Lilley. Larry, welcome to Tech Talk.
Thank you, Frank. I look forward and appreciate being a part of your show.
Well, one of the great opportunities that we have is to kind of delve into a lot of different verticals, talk to a lot of different CTOs, CIOs, CEOs. It's a real pleasure to have an opportunity to speak with you guys. One of the things I think probably our listening audience is acutely interested in, probably have had to deal with, is some of the recent economic situation and certainly the recession that's been going on. But yet what's ironic is that CTS has managed to grow in that economic recession. Maybe go into a little bit of how you've done that.
Okay. Well, sure, Frank. I would say that the biggest driver for our success over the last several years, specifically in the economic recession, is that we've really gotten back to basics. And when I say we've gotten back to basics, we're an IT services firm, and as such, really providing the best services possible to our clients through a local delivery model. And for us, what that's meant is that we have expanded geographically to further our reach into the Southeast so that we can be more responsive to local clients. And as you know, the Southeast is a growing region. There are plenty of target accounts for IT professional service providers, and there's specifically a lot of sophisticated buyers of IT services. Really to further that, I would say that one of the key shifts for us over the last 4 to 5 years is that we truly embrace that our employees are our lifeblood. So we cater to them in a way to attract and retain the best and the brightest. Within the IT industry in general, while there is an economic recession that we're all a part of, there's essentially no unemployment in IT. And so as a result of that, we feel like it's important that we provide a workplace that supports a good balance between professional and personal goals and responsibilities, and are providing that workplace to key employees, which helps us provide the best services possible to our clients.
The dynamics, certainly over the last couple of years, have really gotten, we've all been through the various cycles of, going all the way back to mainframes, all the way through the Internet situation, now mobile devices and managed services and outsourcing and just so many different dynamics that come into play. When you talk about the best and the brightest, it's got to be even a challenge for a company that's focused on providing those kind of services to deal with the, let's just call it the dynamic fluidity of the circumstances that we're dealing with as far as technology and applications and opportunities are concerned.
Well, absolutely, and so along those lines, some of the things that we've also done over the recent years is made a significant push to move further upstream on the technology adoption curve, if you will. You know how technology will run through a cycle. When you've got the early adopters, then it becomes more mainstream, then it hits a more mature stage of life, and then eventually fades off, if you will. And so we've been moving up the technology adoption curve, specifically in some of the areas that you've mentioned, in mobile development, big data, business intelligence, collaboration, and not just made a marketing effort in that regard. Some of the other things that we've done, which we feel strongly help us retain and attract the best and brightest, is that we've made significant investment in training, both internal and external, in those technology spaces, which help us remain extremely relevant to our clientele.
Now, if you, and it sounds like you're the kind of person that enjoys best practices and sharing information and experiences, how about giving some advice to our listeners, especially the IT organizations? What would you give to those leaders as far as any advice is concerned?
Specifically to leaders of IT organizations, I would say, Frank, the most important thing is to be humble. I know in our organization at CTS, the people that embrace teamwork are extremely humble, understated, and unassuming, typically have the most success in our company, specifically celebrating the successes of their team as opposed to promoting their own wares, if you will. We've also got a corporate culture here where we believe strongly that you get the results from people based on the way that you treat them. So in other words, treat your team like adults and they'll behave accordingly, and give them opportunities to succeed. And obviously with that comes situations where people will not succeed, where they might fail in the short term, but you have to give them the opportunities to fail softly so that you can pick them back up and allow them to be successful in later activities in their careers.
That's really great. I guess, as far as current situation is concerned, you kind of commented on some of the keys to your success, but what about the future? Tell us a little bit about what you see as far as the next, any more, can we talk further than a few years out? Can we say the next 5 to 10 years? I think probably in the next 2 to 3 years.
Sure, I can talk about both of those time frames, Frank. Really, our overall goal is to be the most trusted IT consulting firm headquartered in the Southeast. And so when we talk about that, what we really focus in on is the term trust. And we want to, build deep relationships with our clients. At the end of the day, I feel strongly that we're no different than any other professional services firm, be it an accounting firm or a legal firm, in that we're a relationship business. And so we have to build trust externally with our clients, and we feel strongly that being a part of local communities is a big part of establishing that trust. But we also want internal trust. We want to promote from within and create careers for our employees. And so as a result of that, we've got trust on both sides of that, or that's our goal. We really, if you look at our mission as an organization, is to deliver superior solutions to our customers, careers for our employees, and growth in our communities. And so we feel like being an active part of the communities is a big part of attracting and retaining the best talent. We're dealing with a number of factors, but the nice thing about IT professional services and this generation is that they want to be involved in the community and give back, and that our mission supports that. So what do I see for us for continued success over the next several years? Continued geographic expansion. We are in Chattanooga, Charlotte, Atlanta, Birmingham, and Mobile, Alabama right now. We are expanding to Nashville this year. And so near term, I see that as an expansion move for us. But then over the next 2 to 3 to 5 years, I see a number of things coming into play for our organization. One, we've got to start to see expansion in those markets so that they're not investments, so that they are producing profitable business for us, so that we can then start to look at other regions or other cities within the Southeast to expand into. And along those lines, I would say that we have to mature. We're a matrix organization, and so we have a lot of shared services within that matrix organization, and those shared services have to be matured, as well as the associated processes to support that matrix organization as it expands and those local offices become 50 to 70 to 100 people offices. Those back office shared services have to be matured.
Well, obviously, as you progressively move throughout the Southeast, almost anywhere you would go across the United States, arguably throughout the world, a lot of the technology challenges are the same, so that the expertise and the solutions that you would be providing would probably be somewhat predictable. What I would guess that's not predictable is how do you expand and continue to accelerate and continue to maintain your corporate culture, because when the culture you're describing is absolutely, it sounds idyllic. I mean, it really does sound like a balance of both internal concerns and capabilities, as well as taking the best of those worlds and presenting that as a value-added proposition to your customers. So maybe go into how do you maintain your corporate culture when you're talking about this kind of expansion?
Well, sure, Frank. You absolutely hit on a key concept there, a key aspect of our business. We feel very, very strongly that CTS has an overall family-oriented culture. In fact, we refer to the company as the CTS family. What's interesting is that, when we talk about our mission to provide careers for our employees, what we have done and been very deliberate in doing so is to promote from within. So when we do get opportunities to expand into new geographies, to open new offices, to offer or to open new vertical practices, new areas for people to grow into, we promote from within. And our belief there is that the folks that relocate or take on these new opportunities will carry the CTS family-oriented culture with them, while at the same time they get an opportunity to establish their own identities based on the amenities of their territory. And that's actually something that's very it's a part of my job that I absolutely love when I go and visit the other offices, because take Atlanta, for instance. Atlanta is in the later stages of its development, and so the team has got a more mature culture as compared to our Chattanooga or our Charlotte office. But it's very metro-centric based off of a lot of the activities within the Atlanta region. It's city orientation with cultural events and sporting events, but it also reminds me a lot of CTS in, say 6-8 years ago when we were a smaller organization starting to expand and grow. Take our Mobile office. It's very much a beach culture. Friday afternoons they have crawfish boils, they take fishing trips, they do a lot of barbecues, that sort of thing. Whereas Chattanooga similarly has an outdoor culture, but it's more nature-driven events and adventure-driven events. So it's pretty interesting to see the dynamics of the different offices start to develop, with the cultures still being very oriented to include family and to give back to the community, and to really focus on excellence in everything that our employees do.
Well, I'd like to find out how can I join the Mobile office. That sounded like my choice.
It is. I love visiting the Mobile office. That is my home, and that is some of the origins of our organization. And it is very much a laid-back culture, but also a team that delivers under pressure. So it's an interesting dynamic.
Again, it's I think probably early on we heard that you got to love what you do. It certainly sounds like not only do you love what you do, Larry, but you've spread that love across your organization, and if you can say it can be viral, it sounds like it's gone viral as far as CTS is concerned. I can just say, number one, thank you for the attitude and the approach you've taken in the design of your organization. Bottom line, technology and deliverables is what it is all about. But when you hear the corporate culture that you've developed, very, very special. That's something really unique. Hats off to you on that. And thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here on Tech Talk today.
Well, thank you, Frank. I appreciate your kind words, and I've enjoyed being a part of the show and program today, and I appreciate it.